The Father laid it on my heart to make another video, so here it is. I just want to first thank you, Father, for the ability and the opportunities that you've put forth before me. I just pray that the message that you would have me to share, that it would touch someone's life in a positive way, that it would bud forth good fruit, Father. I just pray that the things that I say, that they fall, the seed fall on good ground, Father. And I just pray and ask all this in your Son's precious name. So first of all, life is not about the breaths we take, but the moments that take our breath away. When you sit back and actually reflect on that and think about it, do we really live in the moments that we're in? No. Truly, we take those moments for granted. Just simple little things we just take for granted every day. We are constantly distracted. We're on our phones. We're not paying attention. We're in a constant state of distraction in any moment that we're in. We can only be in the present, which is now. Yet, we take it for granted daily. We're not given tomorrow. We're not promised tomorrow. There's no guarantees. So you're supposed to live each day to the fullest. Live each day like it's your last. Are we really doing that? Are we truly doing that? Are we taking for granted moments with family members, with people we care about, with friends, with children? Are we taking these moments for granted? Instead, watching TV or playing on our phones or daydreaming. Are we truly living in the now? Are we living for tomorrow? And if we're living for tomorrow, then how could we be living for today? I reflect on these things and I look at my day and I realize that I do this myself. I'm not perfect. I'm no saint. I do, however, usually in the mornings I will play this one song that I've been listening to quite a lot here lately. It's called I Want to Be Different by Micah Tyler. And I really wanted to break that song down. It's a really good song, and it touches me in a way, and it speaks to me really deeply. So I'm gonna break that down. It starts by, I don't want to hear anymore, teach me to listen. I don't want to see anymore, give me a vision. So let's break that down. We have Proverbs 20. Proverbs 20:12. The hearing ear and the seeing eye, the Lord has made them both. Matthew 11:5. The blind see and the lame walk, the lepers are cleansed and the deaf hear, the dead are raised up, and the poor have the gospel preached to them. So the blind see. So I don't want to hear anymore. Teach me to listen. So physical hearing or spiritual listening. So basically, not listening with what we hear physically, not listening to the physical, but tuning in to the inner voice, listening to the inner voice, the spiritual listening. Not the physical seeing, not the seeing that we see daily, but the spiritual vision. What is God's spiritual vision for our lives? What is our purpose? What are we here for? Do we ask that? If I was once, but now am found, was blind, but now I see. So I was lost, but now I am found. I was blind, but now I see. He's shown me what I need to see. Have you asked yourself that? Isaiah 42:16. I will bring the blind by a way that they did not know. I will lead them in paths they have not known. I will make darkness light before them, and crooked places straight. These things I will do for them and not forsake them. So if we put our faith in Him and ask Him for the vision to be able to see, the spiritual vision, He will make us able to see. The blind are those that do not have spiritual eyes, have no ability of seeing Him at this time. And our job is to try and wake those people up and help them to see things. Matthew 6:23, the lamp of the body. Matthew 6:22 and 23. The lamp of the body is the eye. If therefore your eye is good, your whole body will be full of light. But if your eye is bad, your whole body will be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in you is darkness, how great is that darkness? So we have how many eyes? How many physical eyes? 2 eyes, but 1 vision. So you have the opportunity here, as this says, if your eye be full of good, then you will be full of light. But if it be full of bad, then your entire body will be full of darkness. So we have 2 eyes, but 1 vision. You have the opportunity to have spiritual vision if asked. You have to ask for it. Ask and you shall receive. Knock and it shall open. Seek and you shall find. These are all things that He promises us. We just have to ask. The song goes on, that you could move this heart to be set apart. I don't need to recognize the man in the mirror. The man in the mirror, the physical. I don't need to recognize my physical being. I don't need to know who that is anymore. Because if I'm changed, if I'm different according to the song, then I'm spiritually changed. Then I don't need to, the flesh doesn't matter. Ephesians 4:20 through 24. But you have not so learned Christ, if indeed you have heard Him and have been taught by Him, as the truth is in Jesus, that you put off concerning your former conduct the old man, which grows corrupt according to the deceitful lust, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind, and that you put on the new man, which was created according to God in true righteousness and holiness. So, you put off the former conduct, the old man. So you put off the flesh, you let it go. And you turn to the new man, which is the new creation, the born again Christian, the new person on the inside that comes out and doesn't care about the physical, doesn't care about the flesh, only cares to hear the spiritual listening and to see the spiritual vision. That is who we are striving to be. Romans 12:2. And do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. So do not be conformed of this world, but be transformed by renewing of your mind. So new mindset, new thought process, new vision, new hearing, just a new you, completely changed, born again, just new completely. That's what the song so far means to me. It goes on, and I don't want to trade your plan for something familiar. I can't waste a day. I can't stay the same. Proverbs 19:21. There are many plans in man's heart, nevertheless the Lord's counsel that will stand. So we have many plans. So instead of trading God's plan for something that we have planned, we should just let Him take the reins and have faith that it's going to work out. Proverbs 3:5 through 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct your paths. So again, let Him take the reins. Stop trying to control every little thing. It's something that I have to struggle and work through daily. Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, says the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you a future and a hope. We have a purpose. He has plans for us. We just have to give him the opportunity to show us those plans. So as far as I can't waste a day, the end of a thing is better than its beginning. The patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit. Do not hasten in your spirit to be angry, for anger rests in the bosom of fools. Do not say, why were the former days better than these? For you do not inquire wisely concerning this. That's Ecclesiastes 7:8-10. So I can't waste a day. So if you live in the past, why were the former days better than today? So I can't waste a day. I don't want to waste the day that's given to me. But if I'm living in the past, then am I wasting today? If I'm thinking about all the things that I could have done better years ago, or if I'm thinking about how the days that used to be better, am I really living for today? No, I'm not. So it says, for you do not inquire wisely concerning this. Psalm 90:12. So teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Walk in wisdom. Ephesians 5:15-17. See that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Therefore do not be unwise, but understand what the will of the Lord is. So if I read that in the easy to read, you have, so be very careful how you live. Live wisely, not like fools. I mean that you should use every opportunity you have for doing good, because these are evil times. So don't be foolish with your lives, but learn what the Lord wants you to do. It's pretty deep. Also remember, wisdom is it's knowledge applied. What is knowledge? Knowledge is truth. So, like I said before, knock and it shall open, ask and you shall receive, seek and you shall find. What are you trying to find? You're trying to find the truth. Well, what is truth? Truth is knowledge. So what is wisdom? Wisdom is knowledge applied. So the chorus is, I want to be different, I want to be changed, till all of me is gone, and all that remains is a fire so bright, the whole world can see that there's something different. So come and be different in me. So I want to be different, I want to be changed. I want you to come in and I want you to change who I am, because I'm not good enough and I know that. So all of me is gone. I want all of who I was yesterday to be gone, because today is a new day and I want to be made anew. Till all that remains is a fire so bright. So let's talk about that fire. Revelation 3:16. So then, because you are lukewarm, meaning not on fire for Jesus or God, and neither cold nor hot, I will vomit you out of my mouth, because you say, I am rich, have become wealthy, and have need of nothing, and do not know that you are wretched, miserable, poor, blind, and naked. Let me jump back one, because it's important that 3:15 was actually read too. So Revelation 3:15 is, I know your works, that you are neither cold nor hot. I wish you were cold or hot. So then, because you are lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will vomit you out of my mouth. That's pretty intense if you think about it. So my interpretation of this is the way that it just hit me. It was an epiphany that I had. The cooler you are in this world. So when someone says, "Oh man, you're so cool," the cooler you are in this world, the further away you are from Jesus because you are not hot. The cooler you are in this world, the further away you are because you're not on fire for Him. That's that fire so bright the whole world can see. So that's what I want to be. I want to be on fire, and I want people to know that Jesus is my Lord and Savior, and that I'm willing to lay everything down to prove that to people, because that's what I'm here to do. That's what I'm sent here to spread a message, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. And this song helps me to remind myself of that daily, because who wants to take that thought process away from me? Who comes here in the name to kill, steal, and destroy, and take away our purpose? That will be Satan. So if I allow myself to forget this, then if you give Satan a foothold, he will tear you down and drag you back to that miserable state that you were in. So I use this song to remind myself daily of how I want to be different than I was yesterday. Now it goes on, I don't want to spend my life stuck in a pattern, and I don't want to gain this world but lose what matters. So what is that? Alright, one of my favorite books, Matthew again. Matthew 16:26. For what profit is it to a man if he gains the whole world and loses his own soul? Or what will a man give in exchange for his soul? So I don't want to gain this world and lose what matters. So if I gain this world, then I lose my soul. And I don't want to do that. And I don't want any of you guys to do that. I want you to think about that deep. This is deep stuff. This is the inside. You got to think deep. It's like in Shrek, the onions have layers. We have layers. There are realms, different realms that we operate in, different energies that we give off. You can feel negative energies. Well, you can also feel positive energies. We just don't pay much attention when someone's, "Oh, you're giving off negative energy." It's a deeper thing. It's deeper than what you think. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against darkness in high places. It's a battle between good and evil all the time. So let's combat that evil daily. It's a daily struggle, a daily battle every day. So what does it mean to gain this world? What does that mean? And let's go back to Matthew 6. Matthew 6:24. No one can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will be loyal to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon. Well, what does that mean? Well, let's look at it in the easy to read. You cannot serve two masters at the same time. You will hate one and love the other, or you'll be loyal to one and care not about the other. You cannot serve God and money at the same time. So what does it mean to gain this world? It means to level up in this world. It means to advance in this world. It means to become rich, famous, wealthy. It means to become materialistic. It means to worship idols over your God. It means what you see out there in the world right now. It means how everyone is obsessed with their phones, their new car, their appearance. That's what it means. It means to gain this world. It means to think about everything else but Him. That's what it means. You cannot serve God and money. You cannot do that. And so you have to make a decision. Do you want to gain this world and lose your soul? Or do you want to keep your soul and put careless things aside that mean nothing? Vain, careless things aside that mean nothing. We should put those things down because they don't matter. In the end, none of that matters. The only thing that matters is your salvation. Goes back into the chorus. Then the next part is, I know that I am far from perfect, and trust me, I know this very well. Just because I'm talking about this stuff doesn't mean that I feel like I'm perfect. I struggle daily. It is a constant battle daily. But through you, the cross still says I'm worth it. So take this beating in my heart and come and finish what you started. When they see me, let them see you, because I just want to be different. Now, while none of us are perfect, we're flesh. We fall short daily. We are human. But, all that being said, Matthew 5:48, therefore you shall be perfect, just as your Father in heaven is perfect. So, not that we are perfect, not that we'll ever obtain perfection, but we should strive for perfection every single day, because our Father is perfect and our Father is within us. And if He lives within us, then we can be perfect, but we have to constantly battle that evil. It's that devil, an angel sitting on your shoulder daily. If he gets in your ear just for a second, that's it. You lose. But it doesn't mean that you lose forever. You just get back up. Just because we fall doesn't mean that we can't get up again. You want to be perfect. I want to be perfect. Will I ever be perfect? No. But I'm going to try my hardest daily. Because the small battles every day are what matter the most, because literally, you live right now. You live in the present. Remember? The past is the past. You can't live for yesterday. You can't live for tomorrow. You can only live right now. And it's a gift. That's why it's called the present. It's a gift from God. That's why it's called the present. Don't waste it. Strive for perfection, because He would have us to be perfect, because He is perfect in every way, and He lives within us. And we can unlock that. All we have to do is ask. So I know I'm far from perfect, but the cross still says I'm worth it. John 3:16. For God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in Him should not perish, but have everlasting life. For God did not send His Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through Him might be saved. That's a huge thing. You need to go read the red letters in the Bible. That's where you need to go. That's what you need to do. Find out what Jesus would have for us to do. Just find that out, because it's pretty important. He says, love thy neighbor as thyself, and you should have no other gods. Those are the two big ones. All the other commandments still reign true, but those two are really important. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Are we doing that? Are we doing that? Think about it. Think about it when you're in line waiting behind somebody and you're impatient and, you might be a little rude. Is that really loving thy neighbor? Thy neighbor is not the person that lives next door to you. It's anyone. It's another person. When you get in an argument with your spouse, are you treating others the way you would want to be treated in that moment? Are you letting your anger build up and you say something that you don't mean? That's loving thy neighbor. Thy neighbor is just another person, just anyone else, any other person. Are we really loving them? Showing them kindness, being meek and humble. That's how Jesus was. So the WWJD, what would He do? How would He handle this? Think about it. So take this beating in my heart and come and finish what you started. There's a reference. I got you. Philippians 1:6. Be confident of this very thing, that He who has begun a good work in you will complete it until the day of Jesus Christ. So Just have the faith of a mustard seed. If you don't know what that is, you should go check it out. Be confident that God is going to complete whatever work He began. Let Him have it. Let go and let God, as cliche as that sounds, it is the best thing you could ever do. And that's the problem with the world, is they made that a cliche. They made that seem silly, irrelevant, all the negative things they've put behind it. It's not silly at all. It's the biggest and best thing that you could ever do in your life. 2 Timothy 21. Therefore, if anyone cleanses himself from the latter, meaning the way you used to be. Therefore, if anyone cleanses himself from the latter, he will be a vessel for honor, sanctified and useful for the master. Who's the master? That's God. He is the master. He is the master of all things, the creator of everything in this world. The master. You could be useful to Him. Even when you're broken. Even when you feel like you're not good enough. You could be useful if you cleanse yourself today from the way you were yesterday. You can be used by the master for good work. Therefore, if anyone cleanses himself from the latter, he will be a vessel for honor, sanctified and useful for the master, prepared for every good work. Think about that. Think about that. Let's go on. Flee also youthful lust, but pursue righteousness, faith, love, peace, with those who call on the Lord out of a pure heart. Call on Him with a pure heart. Pursue righteousness, faith, love, and peace. Those are amazing things to have. Pursue those things. The devil will tempt you with his wiles. He'll try to skew you from your path. Don't let him. Dust him off. You can crush his head with your heel. Dust him off. He's nothing. He wants you to think that he's powerful, but he's nothing. Your God is more powerful than that. So what do we need to do? How do we start this process? Matthew 23:25. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, you hypocrites, for you cleanse the outside of the cup and dish, but inside they are full of extortion and self-indulgence. Blind Pharisee, first cleanse the inside of the cup and dish, that the outside of them may be clean also. Well, what does that mean? Let's read it in this other version here. It will be bad for you teachers of the law and you Pharisees, you hypocrites. You wash clean the outside of your cups and dishes, but inside they are full of what you got by cheating others and pleasing yourselves. Pharisees, you are blind. First make the inside of the cup clean and good, then the outside of the cup will be clean. So, Jesus speaks in parables. It's just the way He explains things to make them make sense in the time frame that He used it in. But it reigns true today. So, if you think about what that means, the dish, you are the dish. If you clean the inside, everyone's so worried about their appearance and what they look like. That's cleansing the outside of the cup. That's the physical, that's the outside. We need to worry about what's on the inside. Because let's go back to if we're given spiritual listening and spiritual vision, and we can see these things, that means that we're changing on the inside. We're changing on the inside. So we cleanse the inside. We take a look at ourselves. Step back and look at who you are and see the things that you need to change. I do this daily. I self-analyze myself every day. The situations that I get put into, arguments that I may have, or disagreements that I may go through, I step back from those after it's over and I'm like, how could I have handled this better? What could I have done better? Because It has nothing to do with the other person. Why did I react the way that I did? It has everything to do with me. So I need to change. I need to fix me. And if I fix me, then the folks around me, they will change as well. So I need to clean what's on the inside. It doesn't matter about what I'm wearing or how my face looks or any of that stuff. Because I don't know if you've ever heard, God doesn't like ugly. My mom used to say that to me when I was a kid. Didn't really think too much about it when I was hitting my little brother, God doesn't like ugly. Okay, I'm hitting my brother. That's not nice. Fine. What does that really mean? He doesn't like the ugly on the inside. You can stand around and preach and be boastful and say all the right things in front of people, but what's going on the inside? He sees everything. So if you're not clean on the inside, if you're ugly on the inside, I'm sure you've heard that before. Oh, that person's ugly on the inside. Or that person had a really beautiful soul. You could just feel that they had a beautiful soul. That's what you want to be. You want to be a beautiful soul. Who cares what the outside looks like? Clean the inside. I appreciate you guys for taking the time to listen. I kind of ranted and rambled a good bit, but I felt like this message needed to be gotten out. It is actually currently 11:30 at night right now. God woke me up and said I had to do this, so here I am. This video is going to be slightly different as I'm not going to have all the scriptures in it. I'm just going to leave those linked below. You're welcome to go and check those out. I'm basically just going to let you listen to what I had to say if you care to. If you don't, well, that's up to you. If God puts it on your heart to listen, you'll listen. If not, you won't. But I do appreciate you for taking the time. If you did like the content, please give me a thumbs up. Thank you so much. God bless you all.